Ms. Smith will present the application A 2021-39. Welcome to our meeting, Ms. Smith.
Thank you, through you, Chair Peabody. The first application is a Committee of Adjustment application. If there are any members of the public who would like to receive notice of this application, please contact the clerk at the municipality or email the county at bcplwa@brucecounty.on.ca. So the purpose of this application is to allow relief from the maximum lot coverage for accessory buildings and structures, and this is for a property located at 341 Westwood Drive in Walkerton. The proposed lot coverage is 6.2%, whereas the maximum permitted in the zoning bylaw is 5%. If approved, the application would facilitate the installation of an above-ground pool. When reviewing Committee of Adjustment applications, there's 4 tests that are considered. The first of those is related to whether or not the application maintains the intent and purpose of the official plans. And in this location, the site is designated primary urban community in the county official plan, and it is also designated residential in the Walkerton official plan. The proposed above-ground pool is accessory to the existing residential use on the site and permitted within both of those designations, and therefore the applications do maintain the intent and purpose of the official plans. The second test relates to whether or not the application maintains the intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, and in this case, the property is zoned residential, low-density single. The maximum lot coverage, as noted earlier, for accessory buildings and structures identified in the bylaw is 5%, and the applicant is seeking to increase that to 6.2%. There are already an existing shed and gazebo on the property, which occupy a certain percentage of the property, and the addition of the in-ground pool is what puts the applicant over the 5% permitted in the bylaw. The owner is proposing to install the pool in the rear yard. The front and rear yards of the property are adequate to provide sufficient green space, which is the intent of the lot coverage provisions, and it also allows for amenity space and landscaping as well. For that reason, the variance does maintain the intent and purpose of the bylaw. The third test is whether or not the application is desirable and appropriate development of the land, building, and structures. And over time, it can be expected that a landowner will want to improve on their property. This variance will enable this property owner to build an accessory structure that meets their needs for additional amenity space in their rear yard and the use of that space. The use will not impede the function of the lot, and it does represent an appropriate development for a residential home such as this. The final test is whether or not the application is minor, and that's evaluated in terms of the impact or suspected impact to the surrounding neighborhood. In this instance, it's not expected that permitting the variance will have any impact on the character of the area. There are other structures and accessory uses in the surrounding residential lots, and the owner will maintain adequate permeable open space and setbacks between other structures on neighboring properties. Therefore, the variance is considered minor. We did receive agency comments from the municipality of Brockton and the Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority. The chief building official did note that the other structures on the property, the existing accessory structures, do not meet the setback requirements identified in the zoning bylaw, but that can be addressed separately with Brockton staff. And therefore, there was no objections raised with this application from agencies, and there were no public comments received. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions from the committee.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions from the committee members? Okay, hearing none.
Mayor Peabody, could I perhaps just interrupt for one moment? I think that some of our committee members might be having some technical difficulties this evening. Councillor Adams in particular seems to keep freezing. And I know Councillor Elphick, it looks like I can see you nodding your head now, but a few seconds ago, I wouldn't have been able to see you with your video. So just to ensure that we're not missing out on any questions, maybe if we could just take a moment, and if those individuals could maybe use the chat function and let me know if you've got any questions. I would hate to miss something.
Yeah.
I know Councillor Adams is having some
Okay.
difficulty. I've put him on hold a few times just to try to reconnect, but
Okay,
I
Councillor
you were
Adams, can you
able
hear
to-
us?
Were
Yes,
you
we
able to
can
hear
hear
me,
you.
Chris?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, so no questions, I presume, because you heard me. Okay, and then, as it's a public meeting, anybody from the applicant side have a question?
I will say we do have one individual in
We do?
attendance. If anyone is looking to participate, you can use the chat function or the raise your hand function. And I can definitely make sure that we can hear any of the comments that you may have. Okay, I'm just giving another second or two in case people need a few minutes to find where all the controls are. Mayor Peabody, I'm not seeing any
Okay.
indication that anybody would like to participate. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. So hearing none, then we'll read the motion. Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Elphick, that the Committee of Adjustment, Municipality of Brockton, has considered Bruce County Planning File A-2021-39. Any objections and submissions arising from the public hearing hereby approves the application for a minor variance to 341 Westwood Drive, Plan 3M 162, Lot 38, Municipality of Brockton, in accordance with the conditions as outlined on the decision sheet. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. The motion is carried. Motion to adjourn at 6:37, made by Councillor Adams, seconded by Councillor Adams, that we adjourn the public meeting convened under Section 45 of the Planning Act. All those in favor
Yes.
of adjourning? Okay.
Just a point of clarification, sorry,
Yeah.
I think it was moved and seconded by Councillor Adams. I wasn't sure if you were
did I?
looking for.
Oh, Elphick. Sorry about that. I only got in here at 6:29, so luckily it's the Committee of Adjustment. It's just a little bit of practice before the main meeting. Okay.
We gotcha.
Okay. All right. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay, great. Okay, so those of you watching will now be taking a break, and we'll reconvene our planning meetings at 7 o'clock when we talk about rezoning out in Cargill.